Hey, it's Mina G Manifest back with another motherfucking video. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know. This is be kind of like a little bit freestyling real quick. Hold on, oops, sorry. Oh my gosh. But I guess talk my thoughts out, like what I'm thinking. And then I feel like with spirituality, when you grow, when you're just in the midst of healing and growing, it's very repetitive. So if you hear me saying the same shit over and over again, because it is what it is. So I don't know. Okay, but I hope that everybody's whenever you're watching this, whoever's watching this, whatever. I hope that you did had a great day. If you feel like you haven't had a great day, just know that it will get better. You just have to believe that it will. It always does. Circumstances always fucking change, okay? And just know that everything's gonna be all right. It's just simple as that. It's just like just having that trust, that faith, just belief, that assumption of just knowing that you just like, I just know it's gonna work out. It doesn't matter what's going on around me, it's gonna work out in my favor either way. All the time. Like when you got that thought process, that's how you're thinking, your thought patterns, your fucking mindset. That's just how shit gonna work out for you. That is what being optimistic is. That's what thinking positive is. You know what's going on. You ain't delusional to what's going on. You're just like, I see what's going on. Yeah, it sucks. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? It has to be something. Either I have to learn from it, grow from it, whatever. Pretty much just all in the same thing. You grow from it some way, somehow, and or there's a blessing, coming from that. Either way, it's all good. It's always good. So, but I don't know. Like, what should we talk about, Zeusy? Huh, Zeusy Pussy? Huh, Zeusy Pussy? I said pussy, not actual, not the word pussy. I was saying pussy, like POOSEY, spelled in that way, whatever how you want to spell it. But yeah, anyway, just in case someone gonna say something, I just want to put that out there. But my day was great. Like I just got home like this morning, like almost like it was like 9 something or almost 9. Because like after picking back up, oh my god, my baby from my friend's house, because she was babysitting him for me while I was on my date last night, and uh it was great. It was great. It was great. It was great. Like it was a great day. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole thing with like COVID and stuff. I'm not really trying to be around too many motherfucking people, anyways. I really don't care, for being around in public like that. But I know eventually we'll start. Because initially that's what we was gonna like go out somewhere, but it was like no, kind of got a baby, kind of wanna stick to just still going out, but it's just not gonna be at my place. So, but we went to his place and he cooked me a little seafood boil. It was delicioso. It was good. He could cook. He could cook. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibes were there. The vibes were there. You just see where things go. Like we're taking it slow, but at the same time, like it's like at the same time, like you're going with the flow type shit. Is like if you feel, it's like I don't want to like, you don't ever like put like a timing on some shit, to be honest. Like you could be like, okay, this, if it gets to a certain point, you're like, okay, if it's nothing's progressing by a certain point where you realize like, okay, nothing's progressing from here, okay, I'm out. Either talk about it or I'm out. Like, or if you get in trying to say. I think I'm digressing. But I don't know, like it's just we're shit, just literally going with the flow. Like shit, if something kind of shakes, something kind of shakes because it feels right. If it feels right, do it. If it don't try to fucking like why are you doing it? You gotta ask yourself, why am I um doing what I'm doing? Like, are you doing it because you're trying to appease someone else, or are you trying to fill in a missing piece of you, or fill in a hole that you feel like you have, you know like you trying to fill it by have someone else to fill that hole for you, or lack thereof, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like with relationships, or really not just relationships, but mainly, I could say mainly romantic relationships. He just fell right asleep. Mainly, um, romantic relationships. Usually, most people, they are what you call it? They're trying to fill a hole, or like whatever they're lacking, they're trying to get it from somewhere else, like lack of something from within themselves, so they like trying to find love somewhere else. And who most people that has been on this earth, this planet, having this human experience, had dealt with that, including myself. I was looking for love in the wrong places. I was trying to fix and change like the people I was with. Unconsciously, subconsciously, I was doing that, even though it was like, oh my god, trying to help. Because to be honest, like deep down, like of course, I know the type of person I am. I still want to help people. That's always been my thing. I want to help. I want to, like, for this channel. I realize, like, especially like compared to like last year to now, like I've grown a lot, and I'm still growing. I'm still learning. Like, you learn every fucking day, like just on different aspects of your life. Like when you just become more self-aware of you, and like trying to just be more um like it's more like I'm always been like self-assessing. I've been a self-assessing myself like for some time now. Like I don't look at it as like when I have certain thoughts, because your thoughts, they're not you. They're just they're just thoughts that may come in. They're like certain, especially when you think a certain way so for so long, maybe certain thoughts may come in that you're gonna be like, don't even want to fucking think about it, or whatever it may be. And when really you just need to redirect that thought, be like, you know what? Mm-mm. This is, I would not exactly, this is how it's gonna go. Like, for instance, like just to put like a general type of thought, like, oh, why is this always fucking happening to me? Like, instead of saying that, you could say like, oh, you know what? Obviously, you know, it will get better. Eventually, it will get better. I know it will. It's gonna get better. It's gonna turn out the it'll, it'll work out. Turn out the best. A little bit. I can't fucking speak right now. Why can't I fucking speak? Oh, okay. But yeah, it's gonna turn out for the for the better, for the best, whatever the fuck. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, you change the way how you see things. You just try to see the bigger picture instead of just looking at that small the little, that little small picture there. Instead of just seeing that little image right there, you see the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about looking at everything from, I could say, from the God perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because God sees the bigger picture. Because we are God. We're all of source. We all part of source. We are source. I am source. You are source. You know, you have your higher self. I have my higher self, but we all one. We all reflect certain things within ourselves from different other people. If you get what I'm trying to say, because everyone is you pushed out. Everyone, everything is you pushed out, basically, and it's all about you admit what you, I would say, attract, but also more is more like what you align yourself with, not really more what you attract, but it is, but it depends on how you like look around it or look about it, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, like you pretty much align yourself to what you believe, whatever that may be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, is that to say, like, if you just believe that generally that everything is always working out for you, like, literally, and you just have that trust, that knowing, that belief that, look, I know the universe is taking care of this for me, or, you know, whatever, like, whatever you believe in, because technically, like, whatever you believe, that's just like a fucking label or some shit put on it. But I just believe more in a general aspect of everything. It's just the universe. And so, but if you want to believe like in different idols, that like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't care, as long as you have something to believe in. Either if you just believe in yourself or you believe in another, like an idol. Either way, I feel like it's just the same thing. It really doesn't fucking matter. I feel like it's all about you just trying to do your best while you're on this earth. And it's all about if either you're going to live on earth as if you're in heaven or if you're in hell. And that's literally a mindset. Heaven and hell is just a fucking mindset. Period. It's all about if you're holding on to guilt, shame, anger, hatred, and you're wondering why you're going through these same loops of the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. It kind of reminds me, if you ever watch Lucifer, you know how every time they go to like the hell scenes or whatever, if you noticed that if you notice that like every time someone's in their hell loop, they're going through that thing over and over again. Because why? Because something that they're guilty about, something that they feel shameful about. But if you got to season, not season 6, but season 5, where I forgot his name, that black guy that pretty much that Lucifer, I think he tortured him or something like that. Because I remember, I think he went to his hell loop, I think in the previous season before season 5. And but basically season 5, he ran into that same guy that was in hell, that was in his where Lucifer like saw him in his hell loop. He ran into him in heaven, the same guy that was in hell. And he's like, what are you, basically like, what are you doing here? Like, you was in hell. How the fuck did you came up in heaven like this? Like, and it turns out, because basically Lucifer, subconsciously or not unconsciously, whatever you want to put it, Lucifer technically helped the dude that was in hell to make him realize that it was his own guilt that was keeping him in that hell loop. It was his own. It was you. Everyone. So if you get what I'm trying to say, so basically he let go of whatever that was. He stopped feeling guilty about what he did, because you know, like everyone has their own path, their own journey, and it's like at the end of the day, we're judging our own selves. At the end of the motherfucking day, it really isn't anybody else, because if you don't judge, you won't be judged, if that makes sense. So basically, but then like you just don't, so basically that means is like you're not gonna really, if you don't have no guilt or shame in your heart or whatever it may be, especially when you die, I feel like the afterlife will probably be a little more. I, I'm not sure what's gonna fucking happen if you like fucking die, but I just know most likely you, when you do come into like your next human experience or whatever other type of being experience, your next life is most likely gonna be great because you pretty much like pass the test or some shit. You don't have to come back and, or at least come back to this fucking planet and go through the fucking bullshit on this earth. Because, to be honest, I feel like the earth is ghetto. The earth is a little ghetto. It's a little ghetto. It's a little ghetto. I feel like it's like, as they call it, prison planet and all that bullshit. But anyways, I feel like I just digress. But if you get what I'm trying to say is us, is you that is keeping yourself in that fucking hell mindset. You could literally get yourself out of that. It's just all about you working towards, like, yes, you're so used to and conditioned thinking a certain way and certain habits because that's what you was conditioned to, and it's okay. It's not your fault. It never was your fault. You just doing something that you was just taught. But once you're shown a better, I don't know call it better, but yeah, a better way to do things, a better way to react to things, and or not to react to things, it's so much liberating when you start taking accountability. The fact that it always starts with you, it always ends with you. It's no one else's fault. It literally isn't. It's like, if a person wanted to treat you that way, that just says a lot about how they treat themselves. And that's where the whole point of, like, is just not taking things so personal, because it's like, it's literally not personal. It's something that has to do with them. It has to do with how they feel about themselves. If they truly unconditionally love themselves and kind to themselves, they have compassion towards themselves, guess what? That person will also treat other people that way as well. Just automatic. Just because, like, why? Like, no happy person from within just and kind and shit to themselves just from within. They just want to be like, I want to be an asshole and to everybody that I come across. Like, that makes no sense. No, because you feel good about yourself. You feel happy within yourself. You're just kind to yourself. You just love yourself unconditionally. You're going to vibrate and emit that same through your actions, through your words. You're going to be that person. So, but at the same time, it's also, of course, but I don't know. I feel like I just really just digress. But if you get what I'm trying to say, and if you watch season 6, where Dan, he was in hell, but he was brought out. Okay, it might be a spoiler if you haven't watched it yet, but look, just go watch it. Like, I think it's, even if I might, like, I'm just gonna go a brief overview with what happened with him, because if you know that he died in the previous season, then, or not the previous season, it was the first half. Yeah, it was the previous season. I'm sorry, because season 6 came out so fucking fast. I was like, damn. But I wasn't complaining. I was not complaining at all. So I was happy about that. But yeah, season 5, like, where Dan died. If you even got to that point, but if you haven't, then I'm sorry. Just go watch it, okay? But what happened? Look at my chunks. But yeah, like, where Dan, he sorry, trying to stretch my legs. It was getting a little bit crowded. But yeah, Dan, he went to hell, and he was like, basically Dan was like, why am I in hell? Like if I'm a good person, I try to be better. Like he felt like he right his wrongs and da 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 da, and it was like, yeah, but it was his own guilt that kept him there. He was trying to figure out, but because Lucifer pretty much stopped the demons from torturing him, so he in his hell loop. So basically, Dan wasn't going through no damn hell loop, and so he was just in his fucking hell loop, or in his room, his own, as you say, his own consciousness, his own mind, his own, you know, place of hell, but he wasn't like being tortured. So it was like he was just being stagnant. If you think about it, it was just like he was it wasn't really no progression, because like how you expect to like move on or figure out your guilt if you're not going through, if you're not figuring out or learning why you're going through that whole loop. And eventually he was like, because he didn't know what he was feeling guilty, but he's like, he was trying to figure out why he was feeling guilty, because sometimes you just don't know exactly what until something else transpired. And pretty much like turns out Lucifer had a daughter that came from the future, and she went down to hell, and she ran into Dan, and Dan, so she took Dan all the way up back into the fucking, into the world, but he was like a ghost pretty much. And 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 then he turned out, eventually got into the killers, the one that killed him, that killer that killed him, that French nigga, that French dude. um he got into his body. He basically possessed the killer's body, that the one that killed him. Dan possessed his body. And so he was trying to get out his body. He just trying to figure out why he couldn't get out his body. And so of course, Dan eventually got to Lucifer, and he told him, he was like, it's me, I'm in the killer's body and shit. And Lucifer, like I said, Lucifer helped him out to get, just help, because that's what I love about Lucifer. They trying to make it seem like Lucifer was just a bad guy, and I feel like Lucifer was just misunderstood. And I feel like, to be honest, I don't believe in that, like the actual devil and shit. It's, to be honest, is like everyone has their own. Devil never was like a bad person. He was just he was just misunderstood. He was just never a bad person. He wanted to only punish the guilty, not the guilty, but yeah, the guilty, the bad people, as per se. That's because, if you ever watch Lucifer, you see how he gets when a motherfucker that is just, I wouldn't say horrible, but that really like are bad people doing bad things on purpose to hurt other people on purpose. You see how mad he gets. You're like, oh hell. He's like, oh hell no, you deserve to be fucking tortured. But I digress. We'll probably get into that another time. But yeah, so basically Lucifer basically told him, he was like, it's not about how long, it's not about how long you spend time or spend a time with the people that you love. It's about how you spend time with them. I think that's what he said. He said like how it's about how you spend time with the people that's close to you, and the people that love you, something like that. I believe he said, and that's what gave Dan in the killer's body, the killer that that killed him. It gave him the idea to go to his daughter. And when he went to his daughter, like it's like something that his daughter was at, and he ended up talking to her, but talking to her as if that was her father's like friend or whatever, but it was really, Dan and the killer's body. um and Dan, he was just going on about how like he felt like he wasn't much of, like, as far as like basically talking like in third person, but he can't say that's who he really is. But basically he was trying to say like, he was basically saying like how he wasn't, like, felt like he wasn't a good father and a good role model for his daughter. And he, basically like, it was just a whole bunch of like guilt he was coming from, and shame, and all that. He felt like he wasn't enough for his own daughter. And when his daughter basically stopped him right there, he's like, why would you even say that? He was the best dad or best father ever, and da da da. Like, he was just great. And and when she said all that stuff, he was obviously crying. It kind of made me cry a little bit too. I was like, oh my God. She was like, because she's like, all I saw was my dad. Like, I didn't see nothing bad about him. Like, he was my dad. She didn't see nothing negative, as you say. Like, that's just her dad. And when she said those things, it pretty much made him realize that he was basically feeling guilty about hit with his daughter. That was the whole thing. Because when he died, that hell loop of the part where he died and shit, that's what was the last thing. That's pretty much, I feel like that was on his heart the whole time. Like, well, not the actual physical heart, as you know, but yeah, anyways. But yeah, on his heart. And he just felt guilty about that. But when she said that to him and she walked away, or as she was about to walk away, he started seeing the light. He saw the light. And he went to heaven. So that just says a lot, that no one's ever stuck to be in fucking hell. You don't have to be in hell. That was just my whole point. I know. I just like went all the way. But if you stuck with me, I appreciate you. Good. Oh my God. Eventually I'll start doing like lives and shit. I want to do lives and stuff, actually talk to y'all, like, like y'all like actually hear and shit. But and but yeah, it's just all about you. You're the one that's holding your back. You're the only one. There's no one else. If you feel like everyone else is holding you back, guess what? That's just what it's going to be. That's your reality that you're creating, because you are the creator of your reality, even if you know it or fucking not. Okay? So it's all about owning your shit, take accountability, as far as like, what, it's no one's fucking fault. Everyone got their own path and what they want to be, what they want to do, how they want to be to people, how they want to act. It's just all about it's all about you just know who the fuck you are, and knowing that, just believing yourself, trusting yourself more, and just growing, and just try at least to be better, at least 1% better than you was yesterday. Like no one's fucking perfect. No one's fucking perfect. It is all about you just trying. Everyone's trying to be their best, even if it don't seem like some people are not trying, but they still trying their best. Everyone is doing what they came here to do, and everyone has their own role, their own place in things, and in this universe. And when you come to that realization and accepting that, like, I'm not going to hate another person for being the way they were, because you know what, that's just, they were just playing their part. And it's all about you. Just like, I don't have to necessarily be in your space just because I'm all love and light or some shit. Like, I don't have to be around you to love a person. I could say I love everybody, and everyone has their own parts. And it's just about using your discernment, and like when you do run into somebody that is not aligned, or the expectation or the desire that you want, just know that you have the choice to either entertain it even more or you don't. And um it's just like literally like you just go or entertain or focus more on the things that align with you, because living your life, it's not like you gonna just expect not to run into certain shit, I would say. But when you listen to your intuition more, you start to you start to attract or align yourself to more opportunities or more people that is aligned for your highest potential, if I'm getting saying that right. Sorry, still kind of sleepy. But anyways, I can't speak today. But hmm, yeah, like damn, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. Which is that my book or go home? No, I don't want to do that. But no, let me save this post real quick. Um, I think it's in my media. The book. Is it in the book? The book is there. Oh yeah. Damn, I hate when I do that shit. But no, that's definitely not it. Syllabus is it announcements, modules. Oh yeah, the modules. But anyways, yeah, you're the only person that's holding yourself back. It's you. It's always been you. It's never been anybody else. So when you know that you have the power, you are source, you are part of source, you are part of this universe, and you're co-creating with the universe, just by long as you do your part as far as like at least trying to be better by your thoughts, your actions. And it doesn't matter how small the baby steps are. Baby steps, they matter too, okay? So it doesn't matter how small it is, long as you trying and you genuinely want to be better and trying to be better each and every day and trying to at least work towards it in some type of way, trust and believe you'll get what you deserve. You always will get what you deserve. You always will, but it's all about if you feel like you do. It always ends with you. It always starts with you and always ends with you. And shit, yeah, that's what I can say. Shit, like that's what I can say. That's definitely really all I could say about that. Like when I realized that it really it's been me that's holding myself back, but it's not like I'm like getting down on myself about it. I'm not. But when I realized that, like, came to a realization, it was really me. It always starts with me and always ends with me. And I wondered why when I heard certain things like that before, I was like, what the hell does that really mean? But like when as I keep growing and healing in my journey in this school called life, okay, um, I realized that it was me this whole time. It was me, and it's like I'm not beating myself up about it. I was just doing the things, thinking and doing things, through my actions and stuff like that, and responding the way I was, and it's only because of I was a product of my environment. Like I was doing things and saying or thinking certain things because it was just the way how where I came from. I wasn't given that good example of how to handle my emotions in a healthy way, and or to love myself, and just I could like go on, but if you feel what I'm saying, you feel what I'm saying. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like everyone has their own way of doing things because they weren't taught better or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're just a product of your fucking environment. So that's just my whole point. And I'm just grateful that I figured it out um early in my life, because I feel like I'm gonna have a long life. Like I already know it. I just feel it. It's just I just know I'm going to die in my sleep as an old ass person. Like that's something I always thought to myself. I was like, I just know I am. I just know it because I don't know. It was just some thought. It was just like a nice peaceful sleep into the afterlife. I just know I always felt that way. So, which is cool with me. Like, and then each day is just like, okay, I'm not scared of death. It's just like, why are you scared of death for? Like, it's nothing to be scared for. Like, there's no such thing as no fucking heaven or hell. Like, as far as a physical place, it's really a thing in the mindset. Because really, it's just consciousness. That's all it is. It's all about what are you holding from within that's keeping you there, you know? Like like what are you feeling stagnant? Like what are you trying to avoid? What are you trying to suppress, you know? And you wonder why you feeling like stagnant. Either it could be emotionally or physically or uh you know, like a place or people or thing, whatever. But it was always your inner world will always show from the outside. From so what you are emitting from within, that will always reflect back to you. Always. Always. You can't hide it, okay? And that's okay. Just give yourself that compassion, that unconditional love, that support, that non judgmental, you know, place of just always being there for yourself. Like the place where where your inner child felt like they never got um when they were younger. And we all are acting out in certain ways because of what we've been through, and it's understandable. And when I started giving myself more of that compassion and love and unconditional love and non-judgmental, just coming from place of from place coming from those places basically, and giving that to myself, to my inner child, and really start doing that shadow work, self-healing, the inner child work, whatever how you want to call it, but pretty much I just felt so much freer. And I'm still healing each and every day. I'm still realizing, trying to work out the kinks, you know. But at the same time, I'm not forcing it. It's just more like when it comes, it comes. Like if something may come to mind, or I may experience something that may feel like it's triggering me, I try to figure out why is it triggering me. I always do a self-assessment on myself. I always do. I always try to, each and every day, if something's like making me upset about something, I'm like, okay, what is this making me upset for? And it's okay to have feelings. Like, feel what you're feeling. Go through that bitch. Like, go through that motherfucker. You have to go through it. You have to go through the motherfucking tunnel to get to the other side to see that motherfucking light. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get through it. Every day is not going to be motherfucking perfect. It's not. It's not. Every day is not going to feel like it's a great fucking day. Hold on, my daddy calling.